China's coronavirus is making plenty of news headlines. But can we trust China to be honest with us? Or perhaps the better question is, can we trust the mainstream media to vet what comes out of China to ensure its integrity? We'll look at what should but is not making the news regarding China in this episode of Analysis Behind the News, where we provide the perspective that you can use to help save American liberty and independence. So over the weekend, both the Epoch Times and the New American reported that 35 lawmakers from the U.S. Senate and the House of Representatives co-signed a letter to U.S. Attorney General William Barr asking him what the Department of Justice plans to do about reports of repeated violations of the Foreign Agents Registration Act by China Daily, which is the official mouthpiece of the Chinese Communist Party. According to the DOJ's website, the Foreign Agents Registration Act was enacted in 1938 and requires certain agents of foreign principals who are engaged in political activities or other activities specified under the statute to make periodic public disclosure of their relationship with the foreign principal, as well as activities, receipts, and disbursements in support of those activities. Disclosure of the required information facilitates evaluation by the government and the American people of the activities of such persons in light of their function as foreign agents. In other words, the American government and people seek transparencies of actions and motives of those foreigners that are conducting related business in the U.S. The Washington Free Beacon reported in December of last year that China Daily had published hundreds of propaganda articles designed to look like ordinary news stories in some of America's most influential newspapers. China Daily bought ad space to do this without complying with the Foreign Agents Registration Act. As the Beacon stated, China Daily has run more than 700 online ads designed to look like news articles and purchased 500 print pages in 6 American newspapers. These propaganda articles frame state oppression in Xinjiang, Tibet, and Hong Kong in a positive light to run alongside actual news stories produced by reporters at the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and other outlets. Now, Representative Jim Banks followed the letter with a press release that stated, in part anyway, China Daily is a disgusting propaganda rag that's used by the Chinese Communist Party to cover for the regime's ongoing atrocities. If there's one lesson from the Cold War, it's that our victory was only possible because we convinced the world that democracy was superior to communist authoritarianism. Well, it looks like we have to fight that battle again, this time against a far wealthier and equally determined adversary. The federal government must use every weapon in its arsenal to ensure the triumph of our values. The consequences of failure are unspeakable. Well, with all due respect, Congressman, the battle against communism has never ended. Unfortunately, the U.S. government has done far more in aiding the communists than many even realize. In fact, the founder of the John Birch Society, Mr. Robert Welch, chronicled how the U.S. government betrayed China in handing it over to the Chinese communists in his book, Again, May God Forgive Us. Now, we've recently republished this book to ensure that this important information does not get lost or forgotten. And as the NewAmerican.com pointed out, these lawmakers are very late to the game. Infiltration of media is only one of the many battlefronts that China is funding for the purpose of becoming the global dictator by 2049, which is the 100th anniversary of its takeover of China. As we have mentioned before, China has made large investments into American real estate, food processing, pharmaceuticals, Hollywood movies, and many other critical industries. Its theft of American intellectual property, its building of its huge military, and its plan to place thousands of Chinese nationals into sensitive positions in the U.S. including the tech industry of Silicon Valley and prestigious research facilities all across the U.S., all point to its intent. Yet, very few in positions of authority here in the U.S. are calling any attention to it. The American media certainly is not vetting the information or even reporting on this very technical move. China has also been substantially increasing its role in the United Nations over the last couple of years, so it wants to see world government occur and it wants to be able to run it. America has treated China as an honorable trading partner for far too long. Its intentions are anything but honorable. However, Americans are lulled into complacency by cheap products made by cheap labor that have eaten out American manufacturing. We are now dependent upon China for far too much, including elements to create sensitive components for U.S. military use, such as weapons. So how much longer will America tolerate this? Placing large tariffs on anything produced in China is a good start, and it's the right thing to do if we are serious about returning American manufacturing and reclaiming our Made in America label instead of what it's devolved into, made elsewhere but assembled in the U.S. Communists lie, they cheat, they steal, and they murder to achieve their tyrannical ends. So we're suggesting that you get a copy of, again, May God Forgive Us, which we have available in hardback and paperback, to learn more. And then, if you're interested in preserving American liberty and independence, consider joining many more thousands of like-minded patriots at the John Birch Society. Many opportunities to act locally are available now in your area. So visit jbs.org/join for more information. And then please like, subscribe, and share this video with others. And until next time, we'll see you then.